Unveiling the tale of Charles Cullen, the serial killer portrayed in Netflix's The Good Nurse. The Netflix production presents a dramatized version of the period leading up to Charles Cullen's apprehension for his patient murders. Here is a chronological overview of the actual events. The individual now recognized as the most prolific serial killer in New Jersey's history completed nursing school in 1986. Just 2 years later, he claimed his first victim. Nearly 2 decades down the line, he admitted to 29 counts of murder, spanning a 16-year nursing career across 10 medical facilities in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Upon his arrest in 2003, Charles Cullen suggested to investigators that his victim count might reach 40, with some estimations soaring as high as 400. Cullen confessed to administering lethal doses of medication, including heart disease drug digoxin, insulin, and local anesthetic lidocaine, via 4 fluid bags. Dubbed the Angel of Death, Cullen asserted that his motives were merciful, aimed at ending the pain and suffering of his predominantly elderly and ailing victims. However, contrary to this claim, some of his victims were as young as 21 and not terminally ill, as reported by the Inquirer in 2006. Presently, Cullen, aged 62, resides in New Jersey State Prison in Trenton, where he is serving 18 consecutive life sentences. His potential earliest parole date is projected to be in June 2388. Cullen's narrative has now been adapted into a feature film titled The Good Nurse, available for streaming on Netflix. Based on Charles Graeber's 2013 book of the same name, the movie stars Eddie Redmayne as Cullen and Jessica Chastain as nurse Amy Luffren, a pivotal figure in ending Cullen's spree of killings. The fictionalized portrayal in The Good Nurse chiefly centers on the period leading up to Cullen's arrest. During his trial, the Inquirer provided comprehensive coverage, uncovering the details of his past, the murders, and the consequences in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Here's a breakdown of the key aspects. Cullen's murder spree. Born in 1960 and raised in West Orange, Cullen dropped out of high school in 1978 before entering the Navy. After his discharge, he graduated from the Mountainside Hospital Nursing School in Montclair in 1986. In 1987, Cullen commenced his nursing career in the burn unit of St. Barnabas Medical Center in Livingston. By June 1988, he had already committed his first murder at the hospital, administering lidocaine to 72-year-old municipal court judge John W. Yengo Sr., resulting in a fatal heart stoppage, according to an Associated Press report. Cullen left St. Barnabas in 1992 amidst an investigation into contaminated 4 bags. He then moved to Warren Hospital in Phillipsburg, where he took the lives of 3 women with digoxin overdoses. Subsequent stops included Hunterdon Medical Center in Flemington in 1994 and Morristown Memorial Hospital in 1996, as outlined by the Inquirer in 2003. By 1998, Cullen had crossed into Pennsylvania, where he worked at various medical facilities, including Liberty Nursing and Rehabilitation Center, Lehigh Valley Hospital, Sacred Heart Hospital in Allentown, Easton Hospital in Easton, and St. Luke's Hospital in Bethlehem. Cullen's death toll in Pennsylvania had reached 7 by 2002. In the fall of 2002, Cullen returned to New Jersey and began working at Somerset Medical Center, where the majority of his known victims met their fate. His arrest stemmed from the murder of Reverend Florian J. Gall in 2003, which triggered the investigation culminating in his conviction in 2006. In total, Cullen admitted to and was convicted of 22 murders in New Jersey. Divergent paths and a troubled career. At the time of his arrest, Cullen had been dismissed from 4 of his 7 prior jobs, according to the Inquirer's 2003 report. He faced allegations of poor performance, improper drug administration, and difficulty getting along with staff members, resulting in his termination from various hospitals, including Sacred Heart. Cullen's personal life was equally tumultuous, marked by a bitter divorce in the 1990s and a bankruptcy filing in 1998. In the decade preceding his arrest, he was hospitalized multiple times for depression and suicide attempts. Despite his professional and personal turmoil, Cullen managed to secure employment, largely due to confidentiality regulations and fear of legal repercussions. His clean record in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, untainted by criminal charges or disciplinary actions, shielded his troubling history from prospective employers. As noted in the Inquirer's 2003 report, hospitals remained unaware of complaints or investigations unless formal charges ensued. In 2003, then New Jersey Senator John Corzine emphasized that Cullen's record should have raised red flags. He and Senator Frank Lautenberg asserted that the failure to do so represented a significant breakdown in the healthcare system. Cullen's arrest and legal proceedings. Cullen entered into a plea agreement with prosecutors in 2004, where he cooperated in identifying victims to avoid the death penalty. He pleaded guilty and adhered to this arrangement until late 2005. However, in late 2005, Cullen's desire to donate a kidney to a friend's relative in New York led to complications. Prosecutors postponed his sentencing indefinitely to investigate further suspected murders. This infuriated Cullen, who then refused to cooperate with the police and attempted to evade sentencing, as detailed in a 2006 Associated Press article. Ultimately, Cullen was sentenced in March 2006, a moment marked by impassioned speeches from victims' families. Cullen, seemingly disengaged, remained silent and even appeared to be asleep. Despite his reticence throughout the court proceedings, Cullen displayed frustration during a later sentencing in Lehigh County Court, accusing the judge of bias. He repeated the phrase "Your Honor" needs to step down numerous times before being silenced. Throughout the process, he showed no remorse or apology to the victims' families. Cullen's legacy and post-trial developments. In 2008, families of Cullen's New Jersey victims reached a confidential settlement with various hospitals, including St. Luke's, which allegedly failed to warn Somerset Medical Center about Cullen's history. 2 years later, 8 families filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Cullen in Lehigh County Court. While not formally charged in these deaths, the families claimed their loved ones fell victim to Cullen's lethal actions. The lawsuit resulted in a $95 million award in 2010 after Cullen failed to mount a defense. Cullen's case spurred changes in policies in both Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Legislation was enacted to protect employers from liability regarding disclosures about employees' work histories. In New Jersey, the Cullen law mandated reporting of misconduct, incompetence, and negligence to the state's Division of Consumer Affairs. In the wake of these events, Somerset Medical Center expressed hope that such measures would prevent the unwitting hiring of healthcare professionals with questionable backgrounds, similar to Charles Cullen.